Hello my friends, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this rather lovely DL card with the large hummingbird stamp and some moss flowers. There's stickles, there's foil, there's colour. What else do you need? Anyway, come with me and let's see how it's done. I'm going to grab a size 7 stencil brush this time, series 7 even, and some Elements ink Sundance, and I'm going to add some of this yellow. I don't want you to stress about adding these colours because there's going to be so much going on, it's going to be great. And so we're just going to gradually peter that yellow out so it's stronger on the right. We're going to just take a fan brush, some clean water, and just do a little bit of sprinkling. Okay? And I'm just going to blot some of this colour away. And we'll be left with a lovely texture behind. There we go. Isn't that lovely? So, grabbing your large hummingbird stamp and some VersaFine Clair Nocturne, let's ink it up. If you're not sure if you've inked it all up, just hold it up to the light and you'll be able to see anywhere that isn't shiny, because that needs a little bit more ink then. All right, so I'm just going to pop that about there. So the hummingbird's head is in the top quarter of the card. Superb. Happy days. Now, grabbing your moss flowers, we're going for the ones with the dots in them, and we're going to use, again, VersaFine Clair Nocturne. And I've got the larger one, and again this is where it becomes this beautiful floral border. So off we go. Remember to rotate some of these flowers so that they look different each time. So I'm going to stop with the moss flowers there. So now the vine set has some lovely foliage stamps in there that are just perfect for adding in here. So we're going to grab the one that looks a little bit like an ivy leaf, and we're going to stamp it with VersaFine Clair Avocado. So this doesn't have to go everywhere, but little bits of it are great for adding detail. So you can see that it's got this lovely shape that will just look like it's attached to the flowers above. And you can still carry on this leafy border. So some of the gaps can be filled with this. So that's that one, and then we want the mini flower stamp, and I'm going to be using the VersaFine Clair Bally Blue. So let's just add some of this magical flower throughout. You can see I'm only adding half the flower in places, and that's great. Fabulous. Just that touch of blue. Now I'm going to add some touches of gold. So back to Kuritake and their watercolours. This is from the Starry set, and this is the gold, which if you look at the back it says 902 on it. So I'm going with that one. And I'm just going to add some of that gold around the edges of these flowers. Right, that's all of those flowers surrounded with that gold. Is we're going to add some colours, and that's using the Mondeluz watercolour pencils. And you can find those on the website, and they're fabulous. So I'm going to start with the yellow, and I'm going to add this yellow around the centre of the dotty flowers. I'm also going to add yellow to the centre of the blue flowers. These moss flowers sort of remind me of hibiscus flowers. I can almost smell the perfume. Lovely. Right, so we've done the yellow. So grab the pink. I'm going to start at the tip of the petal and just colouring our way towards the yellow centre that we've just coloured in. Now we're going to move on to a different colour. We're going for the red. Just go around the outside of the petal. Right, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to these petals and just smooth out the transition from pink to red. So now we are going to colour this hummingbird. I'm going to take teal, green and some blues. And the teal colour I've got here is pea green, so it's a very pale teal. And I'm going to start by colouring that first set of wing feathers there, just at the tips. And the bigger the feather gets, the more I'm doing the tip and then going across the top of the feather. Now I'm going to add some green. The lovely thing about hummingbirds is that you see flashes of colour and they don't necessarily form a pattern. They just are electric and wonderful. So I'm going to do splashes of different colours using these pencils. Now we're going to add some orbs. Okay, so it's just little circles. Lovely. We're going to add the words "Be Yourself" and they'll fit perfectly just here. So if you ink the words "Be Yourself" up in Versifying Clair, the Warm Breeze, and it's just going to go here. So the next bit I'm going to do is foils. I've got some teal and I need a Zig two-way glue pen, which is perfect for doing the edges of a card. Now I'm not going to do every single bit of this in foil. I'm going to do the bits, if you like, in between the flowers. So let's just whiz down the side of that card. Give it a bit of a blast with the heat tool until it gets tacky. There you go, you can see my finger sticking to it there. And pop your foil down. Colour side up. Give it a bit of a run with your burnishing tool, or if you haven't got one like me, you just use your thumb. And we'll pop that over the top there as well to pick up the little bits that we've put down. And you can see that that's just catching the light. Now it won't necessarily make sense yet because we haven't got the stickles on there, and they will make so much difference. So we're just going to add some glue along the bottom there and along the side there. There we go. Keep going, keep going. Add a little bit more colour to that bit. There we go. Lovely. I'm going to use a bit of Wink of Stella, and it's the gold. I'm just going to pop it in the centre of these flowers and let it break out over the dots. And we'll do a little line down here, just following the line of the stamp, and at the edges like that. Now, stickles. So we're going to use sea foam, cayman and holly. And that's going to give us these lovely flashes of bling on the hummingbird. So the first thing we're going to do is go in with the cayman. So I'm just going to put a little dot on the end of these feathery tendrils, so we get flashes of brilliance. Now this is sea foam, and that's going right along the top of that large feather at the top there, and then some down the side there. And for good luck, we're going to add some holly, because why not? There's some lovely flushes of red in here. There we go. And that, my friends, is our card complete. So be yourself, like this lovely large hummingbird. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope you've enjoyed having a go at this hummingbird card with the words be yourself. So important. Be yourself. Don't try and be anybody else. Wonderful. Thank you for your company. Hopefully see you again soon. You take care. Bye.